My name is Ian Williamson and I work for a company called LRS Energy. They're an energy consultancy, mainly in oil and gas. And my passion is about the efficiency of energy extraction. Energy is one of the fundamentals we need in the world, and Ban Ki-moon, the UN Secretary General, has said it's the golden thread that runs through all the Millennium Development Goals. So what I am is for the efficient use of energy and energy extraction. Energy covers micro energy to macro energy, big oil, coal, nuclear, redevelopment, renewable energies, hydro. Most of what I'm going to talk about is oil and gas for this as part of the important mix. And my message is that knowledge is important in this. It's just absolutely fundamental, and the transfer of knowledge to the users of energy and the extractors of energy, governments, companies, is absolutely fundamental to our use of energy and to minimise the environmental impact in the world. What we want to do is eliminate wasteful inefficiency in consumption, in extraction, and in regulation associated with energy, so that there's a greater value for energy to the users and also to the owners, the nations that have the energy resources, the oil and gas in this case. I'm also going to focus on the value that the private sector can bring to oil and gas and to nations. And again, how nations can avoid wasting this valuable resource that the private sector can bring. Nations themselves, and I'm going to focus mostly on Africa during this talk, or entirely on Africa, have a great deal of knowledge about their own environment, their cultures, their needs, and so on and so forth. And the West, or the knowledge, would be stupid and foolish to avoid listening and not listen to what needs to be done and the needs of the people that will eventually use this energy, or will extract the energy from the resources. So the private sector brings money and it brings knowledge. It brings knowledge from around the world, and what we want to use is use that money efficiently and use the knowledge efficiently to use best practice to maximise the return that the host nation can get. So private companies are around to make a profit. They're not a charity, they're not academia, they're not government. And profit isn't a dirty word. We're all traders, and that's how the world goes round as it is. Whether we trade for money or trade for something of value to you, all are equally valuable. So what we want to avoid is profit, excessive profit at the expense of somebody else, because that's not fair, it's not equitable. And energy equitably. What we need is energy equity, and for that to be fair at the expense of others. Ethical energy is that suits the user and suits the extractor, and I want to promote ethical energy and those that promote it also. It follows the Energy for All schemes and the transparency indexes that the UN promotes, and most important, to listen and hear what nations are saying. The former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan said, Africa is standing at the edge of enormous opportunity. We will invest our natural resource revenue in people, generating jobs and opportunities for millions in present and future generations to this opportunity, allowing jobless growth and inequality to take place. Well, it's so important for me, for you, for everybody, that resource nations make the best use of their resource, reinvest it in their infrastructure and their people to build their economy, build their education, and ensure a prosperous future for their generations. Geography have a impact on how much value may or may not be in your nation, and how that can be extracted. It's then how you maximise the value of what you have. So technical risk, which is the geology and the geography, And then there's political risk, and by political risk, I want to small p. It's not about your politics. It's about the stability or instability of government. It's about the licensing and regulatory regime, administration, bureaucracy, install efficiencies or inefficiencies, the knowledge imbalance between those that have money and those that are looking to benefit from it. It's community understanding of understanding, and it's of interests or the not misalignment of interests. If every investor is looking for a commercial return, if the political risk is high, then he sees commercial risk as high and demand a high bargain on commercial risk. If we can reduce the political risk, and this is that every has using the knowledge that it had at its disposal or can access, is where a better commercial deal can be done for the nation. This is also about investors, because the political risk is reduced, and so they don't need to push as hard a bargain, and therefore will not look to take as much of that value out of the country for its own shareholders. So effectively, what we advocate is to reduce the political risk so you can negotiate better terms on commercial risk. That gives better returns for everybody. Extractive sector governance usually covers a number of sectors about regulatory and economic reform. What it doesn't do enough about is talk about institutional transformation, and it doesn't talk about efficiency energy development projects. Again, these are areas that the private sector, especially the knowledge private sector, academia and consultancies that are focused without prejudice and without misalignment on helping governments make their targets and their people. So where a country is resource rich, it has a choice about how much it shares with external investors and how much it keeps for itself, and that is absolutely that country's prerogative. And what I want to advocate is, however they do that, you do it efficiently. You use the best knowledge, the best regulation, the best standards, so that you have environmentally and safe projects and prosperous projects that benefit not just the short term, but lead to longer term opportunities. That's all about having standards, processes, and people with knowledge. And people with knowledge that are prepared to share that knowledge, to train, to teach, to coach, to show, to mentor. I'm very proud to be part of a company that likes to do that. Our company's profits go to a charitable foundation. The company's LR Synergy, the foundation is the LR Foundation. There are other companies similar to us. Of course, I'm biased about, I think we're the best, but please use all the knowledge you can at your disposal to have the best regulatory regime and the best technical knowledge, to the best from your resources.